Make sure it's live. All right, test the sound. All right, cool. We good. All right, Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
All right, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
and double honors to the elders and apostles from Elder Tahara on down, and to all you brothers that's doing this work in true but sincerity, and to the sincere sisters that's listening and learning. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, so you got me, Samak, and I got the brothers Yawada Zak and Perthum. We're gonna do this live stream, but the brothers can introduce themselves.
So, Brother Perthum. It's Brother Yawata Zak.
Okay. Yeah, just want to go share a few words, share a few precepts, man. Just going into the spirit of being ready. Ultimately, we need to be in the spirit of like the bro Perthum said, like you got to get ready, stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. You know what I mean? So that's why we constantly are on our watch. And that's constantly why we always have to be in the spirit of self-examination, because like the bro Yawada Zak said, like we always pointing fingers and getting on other people, but ultimately we have to check ourselves first, because as Yahweh Shai said, you got to cast the mote out of your own eye, before you can get the beam out of that brother's eye, roughly paraphrasing, man. So we always have to be in the mindset and in the frame of checking ourselves first, so that we can be profitable to ourselves first and foremost, so we can be the light and be the example. Because this word this is a lifestyle.
Right.
This Hebrew Israelite thing, if you will, is a lifestyle. It's not a religion. It's not a trend. It's not something that you can just come into. It's something that you're called into. First and foremost, by being of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and second, being called through the Spirit of power held by and it comes a responsibility that comes with that, and part of that responsibility is growing through the Spirit, as a man, as a servant, as a brother, as a father, etc. So in order to do that, you have to make sure you're constantly in a state of self-examination,
Right.
and that you're constantly really in the spirit of righteousness.
That's beautiful. And I mean, it also goes to say that you have to be circumspect at the places where you put yourself at, the things and situations you put yourself into, the things that come out of your mouth. You mean just with the tongue, like the brother had mentioned earlier, having the privilege of preaching the gospel can sometimes, give you that knowledge puffeth up spirit.
Right.
And brothers can sometimes forget that, we can say a lot of harsh things on the corners, but we have to be just as harsh with ourselves.
Right.
And the real reason is, look at the things that we're saying. We're talking about judgment. We're talking about the Lord returning, but he said when, I want to come back for for a church without spot or wrinkle, roughly paraphrasing. And if we be of that number, then that he's referring to us. So we have to make sure that we're on, our watch, not only for the people that we are speaking to, but also for our individual selves. Scriptures say to search out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That fear is generated by understanding that you are subject to the same punishment, if not harsher judgment, because we are those people who are in the know.
Right.
That's
like it says, like what much is given, much is required.
Right. And that's from the Bible, not Spider-Man.
Right.
God, I got something real quick. So Ephesians 5:15 says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." All right, and that word circumspect goes into being diligent, man. goes into being accurate, being on point in this thing.
Yep. Yo, real quick, do y'all hear an echo in the background?
No, we don't. Probably
cool.
feedback
Sure.
on your side.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure because I got my computer speakers and then I got my mic, but I got filters on my mic, so it should compress it and noise gate out the sound.
On our side, it sounds good.
Yeah, you cool, bro.
All right.
I got something too. This is more on the broad side. This is Matthew 24. I'm gonna start at 42. It says, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh." And that's a beautiful, parallel that the Lord gives us. He said that if he knew that a thief was coming, he would stay up and he'd be on his watch all night, so he wouldn't get caught by surprise.
Right.
That's an allegory for us, being that watchful husband, man. The good man of the house, so to speak. What house is this? The house of David. All right, but at the same time, us being up and watching, it means to watch yourself, to watch your family. And that's why I love that, because it speaks about your own household. Because, speaking as men, and as the brothers go, your household has just as much to lose or to gain by you being in the spirit of righteousness as you.
Yep.
You have to make sure that you giving off that good example, that leading example that a man of the Lord is supposed to, because it does in fact affect others.
Come on.
Matter of fact, it's a scripture that says that to make sure that. Hold on, let me not even.
Yo, I think I don't
even want to butcher it.
How it go?
Listen.
I might know what you're talking about.
No.
That's not it.
No, not that one. Yeah, okay. 1 Timothy 4:16. It says, "Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear you."
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So as a man of the Lord, and there's other, if you want to go into the basic, I think it goes into like the requirements of being a bishop.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? There's a certain lifestyle that you have to live, being as though you are somebody privy to the knowledge that we're privy to. It's a certain way that you go about certain situations. And these also align up with the scriptures, the laws, statutes, and commandments. That goes into a very large territory of topics, because even the elder Rakai was getting on brothers just last week about being brotherly, man. You can have every breakdown in the world. All right, you could go out in the highways and the byways every day, but I could guarantee you that if you don't have charity and brotherly love in your heart, you will not make it.
Right.
That's right, huh?
Hey, the scriptures say that if you wanna ask the Lord for something, you gotta you have to reconcile with your brother before you can come to the Lord for anything.
Right.
If you got a grudge or a beef with a brother, you can't go to the Lord until you handle that situation, man. That's what the scriptures say.
That's what the scriptures say.
You gotta mend that before you can even come and ask Yahushua to go to the Father. Like, yo, bro, like y'all over here beefing over petty nonsense, and you want to come to me and ask me for mercy, ask me for forgiveness. But this bro then offended you, and he apologized in sincerity and repented, and you don't want to forgive him. And then you got an issue with the guy, and then you talking shit about the guy.
Right.
You slandering the guy's name. Now you want to come to me, ask me for forgiveness, ask me for mercy. It's a hypocrite, man.
Yeah, hypocritical.
Right. All the atrocities and acts we done committed against the Lord, right, are worthy of death. You know, we don't deserve, and if you want to be technical, bro, we don't deserve remorse, man.
Right.
We don't deserve mercy, but the Lord is so merciful that He's given us that grace to come back and do our best to show and prove that we are sincere and we're ready and willing to inherit really the gift of those new bodies, because that's the ultimate mercy of the Lord. He's like, all right, I'm gonna give you a body that's incapable of sinning, so you're always going to be on point, but in order for you to get that, you got to prove to me that you're worthy of getting that, ultimately. So, and you here it is, a brother that did one little thing, and you can't even forgive him for fucking calling you out your name,
Right.
Hey, what scripture say? I believe it was Peter. It's how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I shall forgive him. I mean, Yahushua said what? 70 times 7.
Exactly. 400, like
Amen.
490 times, I believe, man. It's no way somebody's gonna ever fucking cross you 490 times in a lifetime.
Con.
And even still, you're supposed
You don't
to
even live that
forgive
long.
them that many times, man. So hey, that's just like you said, that's part of being ready. That's part of an examination. Like, damn, bro, I'm out here asking for mercy, but am I giving mercy?
Right,
I'm out
right.
here asking for the Lord to bless me and all this, but am I really worthy of that praise?
Right.
I'm out here.
Are you being a blessing towards your brotherhood?
Exactly. I'm out here on the highways.
Not even just to the brotherhood, man. We be talking harsh on the highways and the byways. That don't give you license to be an asshole at every corner of your life.
Right.
Con.
The scriptures even say, if it's possible, be at peace with all men.
That's right.
And really, when we out on the highways, man, like we really be on some, like, we might be a little harsh and rude in speech, but it really be out of love for the most part, man. At least when we're talking about Jake, we get on Esau and these heathens, but when they come up, if they cool, we going to deal with them accordingly. You know what I mean?
Right.
They come up.
That's what I be telling people.
They come up in a respectful manner. We're going to give you that same respect back. But you come up scoffing and prideful and and mocking us, then we're going to be harsh with the judgment. Because really, there's no way, there's no nice way to tell somebody that they're going to go into slavery or they're going to be destroyed. But you can do it in a tone that's kind of like, well, listen, man, at the end of the day, it's the prophecy of the Lord. It's not my words, but hey, it's just, you're going to go into slavery, man.
Hey, you going into slavery, yeah.
Or you can come up and we can cut your ass. Hey, you going into fucking slavery, man. I'm gonna have you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we, like you said, we can't be a lion in our own home, but we got to be at peace with all men if possible. That's part of it.
And I was saying, it's different. It's different also when we on our square, when we teaching, that's a totally different mentality to have than say, you at the gig or you just you out shopping and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like if you out shopping and you know what I mean, an old lady trip over your cart, fall and bust her head, you ain't just gonna walk away up, judgment.
Right. Or if it's a fucking Edomite in your way and shit, you're not just gonna say, "Move, you fucking slave." You know what I mean? Move, you fucking, fucking servant. You gonna excuse me? I'm sorry. Can I get by? Excuse me. You know what I mean? That's just that's the kind of duality of the life we live. Because it's, I've seen Israelites that I remember this one Israelite in particular. He was a rapper, and he had a rap name, and he decided that he said, "You know what? I'm not gonna have a rap name no more because that's duality, and duality ain't really right in its truth." But I'm like, well, you really got to kind of misunderstood. It's actually you got to have some sense of duality in its truth because you have different, really duality in general, because you're not going to act the same way in every environment, every setting. You know what I mean? That's not wise. You know what I mean? You're not going to talk to a grown man the same way you talk to your kids. Right. You're not going to talk to another man or another woman the same way you talk to your wife or to your boss or to your employees, whatever. It's always duality in life, man. So at the end of the day, you know, like you said, we are on the highways and the hedges every day, condemning and yelling at, pointing fingers. We got to do the same to ourselves.
Right,
You know?
right. You know,
And it starts with us.
Right.
I
Right.
can't go out. I
Especially
can't
if
just
we
start
really-
going out on the highways and telling people to stop eating abomination foods when I just had a crab boil before I came to camp.
I was going to use that exact same scenario. You can't be, you can't be telling people, oh, you got to stop doing this. You going off, you sinning. And then as soon as the garments come off, we away from the brothers, we participate in that same iniquity.
Exactly.
But that goes into, preparing yourself, man. It don't make no sense. Like there's no point in being out in the corners, speaking to people about some things that you're not passionate about within your own life, within your own soul. You might as well not believe in the Lord and then preach about the Lord. Like, you know what I mean? So, at the end of it all, it's like you always have to be in a spirit of humility too. Like you said, even when we get harsh, rude in speech is still out of love.
Right.
You know what I mean? All we doing is doing the proverbial flipping over the tables that Yahweh Shai was doing. We ain't gonna hurt nobody. We just loud because we want y'all to get out of the burning building. We want y'all to step off the train tracks as the train is speeding down.
Right.
Well, it's like you said, bro. It's like this. At least the future rulers of them in the kingdom is giving them the benefit of the doubt by telling them. You know what I mean? They got Jake in mental slavery. Jake don't even know they in slavery. We at least give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
You
having the decency of informing them and letting them know ahead of time. Hey, just letting you know, you're going to be in slavery very soon. So I advise you get your ducks in a row now. You know what I mean? Hey, show some mercy into some Israelites, and maybe you'll receive some mercy, huh? Some kind. So you'll receive some mercy even in your slavery, man, your servitude. So hey, man, or just be an all flat out demon and say fuck it. Might as well go out. You know what I mean?
Either way,
go full Hellboy out there.
Yeah, hey, shit, I'm gonna be a slave anyway and be destroyed. Might as well just say fuck it, bro. I got something quick.
But that also goes both ways too though, because we talk about being circumspect, and because we don't want to be those people where it speaks up in the scriptures where Lord, I've done this, I've done that in your name, and he say, depart from me, for I never knew you, you worker of iniquity.
Right.
You don't want to be doing all of this just to get that that death sentence on that day. You feel me?
Yeah.
At the same time, you also want to be ready to receive glory, man.
Yeah.
The same way where we tell people they're going to be slaves, there's no real nice way of saying it, where there's no real way to fully capture the glory that we're going to give when we try to relay that to our people.
Right.
Even ourselves, as much as we try to capture those thoughts in our mind, we really can't, because it's more glorious than what we could even expect.
And my thoughts are not your thoughts.
And so the preparation of being ready to receive that is a little overwhelming. I think that's where a lot of the hope is based out of. I know Kamad gets a real kick out of going into the certain particulars of the kingdom and spiritual powers and things like that. So just as much as we can look at it and be fearful of the Most High and let it produce a wise behavior on our part, all right, to try to avoid destruction, it also is going to now boost your faith to continue in the works of the Lord with the expectation of something greater, man, with the expectation of what the Lord has promised.
That's the balance of it, that's the balance. That's why you ever have somebody who asks a question like, all right, if you were a ruler, would you rather be feared or loved? When in reality, you can't really have one without the other, man.
Exactly.
If you want to be a true ruler, you can't have one without the other. You have to have a balance of both fear and love amongst your people. And that's exactly what Yahweh Shai, that's exactly what Yahweh has done, or what he's doing. He's given us he's given that share of that weight of fear. Like, listen, this is what I'm capable of, and this is what I'll do, and this is what I've done. You know what I mean? He blessed us, he cursed us, he blessed us, he cursed us, he put us in slavery, put us in the land, put us in slavery, put us in our land, put us in slavery, and then completely destroyed us as a nation as we are today. But then he said, you know what? I'm gonna bring you back, and now this time when I put you in glory, I'm gonna put you in forever glory. So that's the fear part of it. But then, like you said, now the love aspect comes into all the mercy he's given us, all the blessings, the glory, the honor, all those things that he has promised to us. As
Right.
they're both used as motivation and fuel for us to continue to endure and push forward. Because if it was just straight out of fear, the work wouldn't be sincere. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But that balance of both fear and love, that fear is kind of like, the fear is that like sense of urgency, like, oh shit, yo, let me make sure I'm staying on my toes. I gotta watch my back. And then that love is like, you know what, I want to get this done, and I want to do it right for the Lord, so I can make the Lord happy. You know what I mean? So I can make
Right.
the Lord smile. That's the balance with. So brothers need to remember, yeah, we persuade men through fear, but it's also, it has to be a balance of, we got to give you the sweet and the bitter, man. So
Right.
then that's what's ultimately going to have you endure, because if you have one without the other, you're not going to make it.
Right. It's not
Yeah.
going to be balanced. Let
It's
me
not
grab
gonna
this
be
real
balanced.
quick, just because it's on point with what you're
Yep.
saying.
And that goes into duality, bro. Just
Exactly.
right back to duality.
Yep.
But,
So this is 1 Peter. This is one of my favorite verses. Chapter 1, verse 7. It says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua and Mashiach. You know, so that goes right into what you were saying. You know, it's kind of the duality in the sense that, you know, the trial of your faith, you know, though it be tried with fire, literally telling you, you're going to be going through some rough times. You know, you're going to be going through that, you know, a financial situation, emotional situation, you know, a spiritual situation where you just constantly vexed. You know what I mean? You're constantly impaired here or there, you know, but at the same time, the fact that you're able to even push through and make it through that, like, as much bullshit. Think about all the times and all the situations brothers been in, and it was so crazy in the moment. Now, after it's all said and done, when you was like, man, what the fuck was I even tripping for?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in a small sense, even in this life. Because once you get endowed with the inheritance of Yahweh Shai, you're literally a god. You know, what happened to you as Yawatazak, as Samak, as Parathon? What is, you know what I mean? It's going to be counted as glory. You know what I mean? It's going to be honor and glory that you even had to go through that little bit, that light affliction to get this. So, you know, that duality is balance, but at the same time, is the scales is tipped a little bit, only because you can't really measure the glory of the Lord and everything that He has for us.
It is. You're absolutely right, because it's definitely more on the if you want to be on the Lord scale, the fear and the glory kind of don't really weigh the same. But the thing about it is, our mortal understanding of balance is that everything has to be equal, 50-50.
Right.
When the Lord's understanding of balance might not be 50-50. In
Right.
reality, a good balance could be 70-30. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're
could
talking
be
about
80-20.
the things that pertain to the Most High.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's one thing to remember, even brothers in this truth, like, yo, finding your own balance doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a 50-50 kind of thing. You know, between work, life, the truth. It don't have to be a 33-33-33. It could be a solid 50-25-25. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a good balance. Whatever works for you works for you. You got some brothers that can put 50-50, 50% of the time of their time in the truth, and then they split the rest of their life up within the other 50%. You got brothers that out here can do that. Not every brother can do that. Some brothers might have 70% of their time in work life, but then they find a good balance within that other 30% that works for them to do this work and still handle the things that they have to handle and responsibilities in the world. Because at the end of the day, It's like, yeah, you got to understand. We're not of this world, but we still live in the world. Man was created to live. So you got to remember to live. You know what I
Right.
mean? You gotta eat. You gotta make sure you get your your exercising in. You know, because that's part of a daily life. If you really want to live and survive, hey, bro, exercising is important for life. You know, and then joy, man. You know, finding a little joy and a little peace and happiness here and there. That's
Right.
important for life, man. So get you a little hobby. You know, if you're a family man, spend time with your family. But it's all about finding your balance that works for you. That's going to ultimately keep you on the track or on the path of righteousness, on
Right.
enduring. Because I've seen it happen with many brothers, personally. You know, like I've seen brothers that would be 80% on the word, you know what I mean? Going to camp 45 days straight, 60 days every single day, 2 times a day, you know what I mean? And it fucking, bro,
Yeah.
it tears them
I've
like
seen
mentally,
that.
bro. Like,
It'd be them that are that they go too hard in one direction and they end up spinning out of control anyway.
exactly, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? You
You
end up
know,
fucking,
and
yeah,
that's
exactly.
you said something beautiful right there, because it's funny how that works, man. Even like at camp, it'd be like a lot of times, and I'm not pointing anybody particular out or anything when I say this, but it'd be the ones that be like the most fiery.
Yeah,
The ones that be kind of extra, if you will.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
They be so extra, they be the first ones to fall out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the first one to point fingers, first one to call. You know what
And
I
then
mean? They be the one.
and those would be the guys that be the first ones to us ultimately compare themselves to or compare you to them. When you're not
Right,
really
right.
you're not supposed to compare yourself or your works to another man. Every
Nah,
man's
right,
every
right,
man's measure is different. Every man's gift is different. Every man's works are different. So
right.
you just because you do something a certain way or you do a certain quantity of something, you can't then expect another brother to match that. You know what I mean? Oh,
Right.
I do this, so you got to do this. And if you ain't doing it, you ain't in the spirit. You
Right,
know what I mean?
because at the end of the day, everybody's mansion is going to look different in the kingdom.
And exactly. Some brothers might have a 30 million square foot mansion. Some brothers might have a 10 million square foot mansion. That just because that brother's is 30 and yours is only 10 doesn't mean he's greater than you. It's just
Right.
every brother's liking and taste. And hey, listen, we don't even really know what our tastes are. We don't even really know what we like. The Lord knows us, man.
Right.
So
And
when
yeah,
we get in the kingdom, we gonna see it and be like, yo, this is exactly what I would have wanted.
Right.
Hey, that reminds me of the parable in Matthew 20, man. When the laborers one of the first few laborers, they was talking shit because the last laborers that came in the last hour of work, they got the same penny.
And they got the
You know what I
same
mean?
thing, yeah.
You're not supposed to be, we out here pocket watching, man. We supposed to be focused on that penny, and that penny represents that day's wage, that day's pay.
Exactly.
All right,
Yep.
just focus on your works, and it just goes in. That was beautiful the way you put that, brother.
Yep, you can't. Yeah, you just really can't. You can't compare another brother to yourself, bro. Like, I don't care if a brother came in and was only in the truth doing the work for 2 months and he received the same glory, bro. It don't really matter, bro. I'm just worried about salvation, bro. And everything
That's
like
the
that,
only
bro.
reason I'm here.
Am I getting beat up?
Salvation, bro. Like
I'm worried about salvation for me.
exactly, bro. Like I don't care if you got 30 planets and I only got 2. It's not that deep, bro. I got 2 planets, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm here.
I'm here,
listen,
bro.
Listen,
I'm
I
in
don't
the
care if I
kingdom,
got
bro.
no planets. You see this crown? Yeah, I was shy.
Bro, as long as as long as I'm of the first fruits, bro, that's really the only thing you can really ask for. Everything else comes with it, bro. Everything else comes later. The goal is to be of the first fruits and to touch those chariots, bro, and get that new body and be transformed and never see death. That's the goal. Whatever comes after that, we're gonna leave that be for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't stress too much on that, bro. Like, yo, just focus on the
Because
salvation.
at the end of the day, if you're doing this work, you're putting up videos, going on the highways and the byways, Make no mistake, you're tossing your hat in to be part of the 144,
exactly.
not just the 1/3.
Right, not just the elect, the fucking 144, bro.
You know, and so with that, like we talking about being one of the governing body of the last kingdom on earth.
Yep.
Like that's not a light thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being in the House of Representatives, bro.
You feel me? For life.
Sitting on the Senate. You know what I mean?
You feel me? Well, you got access to the president whenever.
Right. Exactly. Like
you were created. You were created before the earth. Like you helped put all this together, and just to be relishing in that moment, like, oh, it's done.
God.
Get that crown back, that celestial body. It's like, yo, that's beautiful, man.
Yep.
Nah, that's love.
The forefathers of mankind.
Right. Just the
ones who started it all. Forefathers of mankind. Like, look.
Yeah.
Why do y'all buy ship y'all was shy? Look what we did.
Yeah,
watching all your generations out there just doing the Lord's work. You know what I mean? Catching wreck. That's beautiful, man.
Nah, that's a humbling thought though. Realistically.
I got something quick. This is Sirach 37 and 19. It says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. It says, there is one that showeth wisdom in words and is hated, he shall be destitute of all food. Hey man, but the point is there's one that is wise and teacheth many, but is unprofitable to himself, man. And that's the really, that probably hits hard on this whole lesson. Really, the point is like, bro,
right.
You gotta you have to make sure you're ready yourself before you can go try to get someone else ready, man. Because you can't be that guy. And I'm gonna use a real low level example, but something that we all experience in our lives on a regular basis. You can't be that guy that's in your house telling everyone else, yo, hurry up, come on, yo, get ready, yo, why you don't got your shoes on? Why you not ready? But you still in your drawers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still in a beater and drawers, and you ain't even got your socks on, and you yelling at your wife or you yelling at your kids why they ain't ready to go, why they ain't the door and ready, and you ain't even got your clothes on yet, man. So you got to make sure you are profitable to yourself. So you want to make sure you got before you go out there and start condemning people on their diet and their lifestyle and the way they live. You need to first check your lifestyle and your diet and the way you live and get that in order. And then you first and foremost be an example.
Right.
And then you can go ahead and start giving that exhortation, if you will, because you can't sit here and you like imagine. And this is one thing, one thing I've never understood was a personal trainer who's not in shape themselves,
right?
Or a doctor, a physician who's fucking unhealthy himself, an overweight physician. Imagine you got an overweight physician, bro. And you coming to him like, oh, I'm experiencing health issues. Oh, well, maybe you should change your diet. But bro,
right.
Man, you ain't eating enough bread.
Overweight, but you overweight yourself. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure we check ourselves, bro, before we even go out and start pointing fingers and telling people how to live, because that makes us a hypocrite, bro. And the Lord ain't dealing with hypocrites. It says be a doer of the word, not just a hearer only.
Come on.
You got the perfect time for the actual. I get it. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Yep.
There you have it, man. Bro just said it. We have to constantly, turn our eyes inward. As much as we point fingers, as much as we single out people, at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to be on the judgment seat when we on it, You ain't going to be able to, when you sitting in front of the Most High, you ain't going to be able to reach out to the brothers. Oh, yeah, well, me and this brother.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to ain't no getting around who you really are behind closed doors, man. And you know, Yakana, shout out Yakana. He had a bar one night. We was talking. He said something that was profound. He said, everybody is somebody behind the veil of America. You know what I mean? And it was, you know, not that this was the topic that we was talking about, but as I'm thinking about it, it's like, you know, we live in a society now where everybody is represented by their avatars.
Right.
You know what I mean? People in the gaming world and technology world understand that. You know, you've seen that in a bunch of movies. We're going to see it in, you know, in a major plane once the metaverse really starts kicking in and whatnot. But people do that nowadays. I mean, most black folk, we do it every day we go to work. You know what I mean? Be in there talking half cracker to them niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but the one thing that you're not going to be able to ever hide from is the eyes of the Most High, man.
Yep.
You know, you're never going to be able to put a jacket on and become somebody else. So make sure that person who you really are, when ain't nobody looking, lines up to who you say you are in this truth. Yep. Lines up to the words that you speak concerning the truth. Because even though you could trick, you know, the average person, you could trick maybe even a brother, you know, you're not going to be able to trick Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's a fact, bro.
You know, and that's just if ends, you know, and buts about it. Because it's at the end of the day, what it say, the Lord examines your heart, man.
Right.
And people like to use that as an excuse to do wickedly and say, "Oh, the Lord knows my heart," but it tell you the heart is
wicked above all.
Desperately wicked.
Desperately wicked.
Deceitful above all things. God.
You know.
Hey, and that's crazy because, like you said, they like to use that as an example to do wickedly, but people fail to realize that people they use that saying and they don't really grasp the concept of what they're saying. They don't really quite understand what they're saying. Like, yo, well, God knows my heart, but if you really think about yourself, like deep down in your heart, you wicked as hell. Because you know you read the scripture that said this is an abomination forever. And you know you read that, but in your heart, you like, damn, but I love eating shrimp. I love crabs. But then again, Jesus, you know what? I'm
right.
good.
You start to justify it.
Right. I'm a good person. I go to church. I pay my tithes. I show people kindness. So I'm good. No. You see, when we teach the word, right, and we talk the law, because we understand that we're not judged by the law itself, right? Right. And it's hard for some people to really understand because I feel like you really got to have the Holy Spirit to even understand something that simple. Right. Because we're not judged by the law, but on the same token we are, if that makes sense. Then the Lord's not going to go ahead and go down a list and say, oh, well, you broke this law, you broke this law, you broke this law. You're not coming into the kingdom. No, it's about in what manner did you do these things? Like, all right, you ate this crab boil. All right, let's just even talk after the truth, right? Waking up to the truth. Damn, well, you did eat this product right here that had pork in it, but you ain't really know. Or you ate it and found out it had pork in it, but then you repented, so you good. Or if you got a job and you got to cut your beard off for your job, but you already had this job, the Lord's not going to hold you accountable to not having that beard on your face. You know what I mean? Because as long as you're not doing a job that's forcing other people to go off, you're fine. Like tattoo artists, for example.
Right.
Or you're a drug dealer, you know, you sell meth and coke. Those are the type of things to where it's like the Lord will judge you for that because you're not only are you going off, but you're causing other people to go off.
Kind of scripture say to be not partakers of another man's sin.
Exactly. Whereas if you work for the fire department in most cities as a fireman, you can't have the beard.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're a fireman, you're not causing other people to go off, but the Lord's not going to hold you accountable for the fact that you've had this job, you're stable, it's funds your lifestyle, because ultimately the Lord is like, all right, I'm not going to judge you because you're not judged by the law. It's all about in the manner in which you do things, the effort you put in. If you can control it, control it. If you can't control it, then you can't control it. It's just that simple. The Lord understands that. So a lot of these Christians, a lot of these people, they don't control what they can control. they choose to ignore the things they can control because of their own lusts. And ultimately, those are the people that are more than likely not going to receive the Holy Spirit and not going to come to repentance because, hey, desperately, like you said, the heart is desperately wicked. They choose to follow their heart rather than to follow the Lord.
Right.
I got some quick. This is Sirach 18 and 20. I'm gonna start at 18 actually. 19. It says, "Learn before thou speak, and use physic." I guess that's physic. Or ever. It says, "Or ever thou be sick. Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation thou shalt find mercy." So, hey, before any judgment is laid out, you got to examine yourself. Like, damn, I got to make sure I ain't fucking up on this before I go ahead and tell this brother he fucking up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you do that every single time before you give judgment, if you examine yourself every time before you lay out correction, if you will, for another term, because we don't really pass judgment, but we give correction.
Right.
You know, before you pass that correction on, you got to think to yourself, all right, where have I gone wrong? What can I improve? Am I going off in this instance? I'm not cool. I am. Let me repent and then do no more and then give that judgment. And then the result, it says in the day of visitation, which is the day of the Lord, or if you give up the ghost before the day of the Lord, it says thou shalt find mercy. So, hey, and people don't realize that this truth is more. If you are, I'm gonna speak specifically to the brothers that's doing the work, because not every man is set up to be a teacher or a prophet.
Right.
But for the brothers that have taken on that lot of being a teacher or a prophet, you got to remember this: it's more the works we do. Like you said, for us that's doing this work, we're putting our names into a hat, or into a raffle to be of the 144K, 144,000, right? So with that, we're kind of basically like, it's like we're entering the lottery, but not only are we playing the lottery, we're playing the Powerball too.
Right.
But the rest of us are playing the lottery, you know what I mean? But those that are teachers are putting a little extra in for the Powerball, right? So with that being said, you got to remember, just playing the Powerball or just doing the work, come out and teaching is not going to grant you salvation. It's not about doing this work. It's just like our response. We were given a little more responsibility at the job. But the most important thing is this: Colossians 3, and I'll start at 12. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, because our goal is to be the what? Ultimately, the elect. It says, now it's going to go into what are the traits of the elect: holy, beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. And hey, and that's one thing that brothers, a lot of brothers lack, bro, is long suffering. You know, brothers get, and that goes into mercy as well and forgiveness. Right. But some brothers are one and done, bro. You cross me once, I'm done with you forever. That's the shit that we felt in the world. But coming into the truth, you can't be in that same manner. That long suffering even goes into dealing with our people that's not in the truth. You know, you gotta, hey, listen, you gotta live it, bro. You weren't always in this truth. You didn't wake up to the truth till you was 25. Took you 25 years to wake up to this truth. The Lord ain't just say fuck you. Oh, well, he ain't get it now. I'm not dealing with him. The Lord gave you 25 years and you finally got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we gotta put ourselves in the Lord's shoes, bro, or at least try to put ourselves in the Lord's shoes and think like, you know, our Christians say, what would Jesus do? We got to really start thinking, what would Yahweh Shah do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
because we stand in his shoes in the modern day.
Exactly. Verse 13 says, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, also do ye. And that's and last one. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Hey man, and that's really that's the main goal, is to put on as the elect, be a light, live this truth, man, and really live in the way of righteousness. And what comes second to that is doing the work. And I think some brothers forget that, and they lose sight of that, because like the scripture say, knowledge puffeth up. So now you got brothers who think that just because someone ain't doing the work, they ain't in the truth. Just because another man ain't teaching, he ain't in the truth. You know what I mean? Or he ain't righteous. Listen, you got a lot of brothers that's teaching the word that ain't really righteous, man. You know, they'll go out on the highways, and they'll be the most upstanding Israelite, flyest garment, loudest voice, bringing out all the precepts. But then the other 6 days out the week, motherfucker, you know what I mean? Bro might be just
a demon,
bro. Like,
Straight shaitan.
You know what I mean? He might always bring it up. Look at
he might not necessarily be doing things like eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, smoking weed, but the thoughts and the way he talk about brothers, the way he feel about brothers in his mind and his heart, he really hate, bro. He really hate people, bro. Like,
yeah,
he really hate his people. Like, some Jake really hate their people, bro.
Oh yeah, and then there's I always bring up Judas, man.
Yep.
Judas was notably one of the most zealous.
Yep.
You know, handpicked by Yahushua himself. Look how he ended up.
It was a snake. Bro.
Not only did he portray a brother, he portrayed the one.
The one. He betrayed Neo.
The one you wasn't.
Neo. What Ariana say? Neo.
You know what I'm saying? He betrayed the you know, hey man. And that's why brothers, you know, hey, and another good example is even Peter, man. Peter had to be humbled. You know what I'm saying? The Lord told him, hey, man, you say you love me, right? Well, before the cock crows 3 times, you're going to deny me 3 times. Yep. And, you know, despite his dismay at that statement, that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
You know, and it just goes to show that, you know, we talking about the rock that the church was built on. It goes to show that everybody is susceptible to those temptations, to those demons, man. And like you said, so other brothers got to be merciful. If the Lord was merciful to Peter, then that means we got to be merciful to our brothers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And some offenses seem grievous. Some offenses are horrible.
Right.
You know? But the point of forgiveness is not for the person you're forgiving. It's so that you yourself stay in a position to be forgiven.
Exactly.
You know, because the Lord said that I will. What he said, that I will not show mercy on those who haven't shown any mercy.
Exactly.
Roughly paraphrased.
The word charity is Greek. In the Greek, it's agape, which goes into brotherly love.
Right.
All right. So showing mercy is a main ingredient in this thing, man. Main ingredient to salvation.
Yep. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was pretty much all I had on it.
Yep, I brought out everything I had.
Somebody got a woo banger?
You got anything else?
Somebody grab a wooey real quick.
Let's see.
Yeah, something in my head.
Wasn't Mr. Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and 5. It says, "And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy of itself."
Hey, and that's beautiful, because the ultimate example of humility and sacrifice was Yahushua. You know, even he had to prepare himself for what he knew he had to endure. Likewise, now that we understand the prophecies, we have to prepare ourselves for the things that we know are prophesied to come. you know, so that we end up, you know, on the good seat in the chariot, you know.
Yep.
But I mean, with that, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash. You know, double honors to the elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect, both here and scattered abroad. You know, brothers, you know, Lord willing, this was edifying, and brothers need to be encouraged, and always turn your eyes inward before we do so much pointing outward, man, because we looking to get salvation as individuals, and as an individual, I pray to see you brothers on the ship.
Hey man, shalom, man.
Likewise, brother.
Shalom.